All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Rolly Lambert. Rolly, how are you feeling today?
Feeling great, fit and strong.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you got the
Like
best
I said.
physique. You got the best physique in boxing right now, dude.
Thank you, man. I've heard this a lot. A lot of people they come to me, some have to ask me, bro, what do you think? What do you think? I said, man, I've been killing myself. It's not about what I think. I
Yeah.
punish myself to have this. That's it.
Yeah. And how do you line up like your physique training, I guess you could say, with your boxing training?
The thing is behind it is, of course, I have to say thank God for the genetic part of it. I would say that. But I started boxing in 2014 and I had to stop for 3 years. I came back in 2018, had a fight in 2018, then got off, then resumed in 2019. So between all these times, I was doing fitness modeling. It required you to take care of your body, do a lot of weight training. I was still doing boxing, but I had no promotion then. So boxing was like a side thing.
Mm.
I was doing fitness modeling, photo shooting, trying to compete, beach body, classic bodybuilding, fashion physique. I mean, all of this involving muscle. So that's when I kind of focused on my physique. Now, when I came back to 2019 boxing, I gave up. I look like someone who push weight, but I don't push weight at all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So did you always, even before you got into heavy training, did you always have like a really chiseled physique?
yeah, it's always been there. Kind of, I would say, since a kid, I've had this where people be like, bro, man, abs, you have this. But yeah, it was always there.
Okay. Yeah.
So I
And
kind of unveiled it.
right, right. And so you got into modeling there for a little bit. You talked about what got you into that to the switch from boxing.
I'm in the gym doing sparring every day. I have these bodybuilders, they come in, say, bro, your physique is crazy. I promise if you step on stage, you're going to win a medal. It just started like this. I was like, bro, you see me like doing those stuff? For me, it was nothing. Like, it never came in my head. Out of the blue, now, I don't have a promoter. Nothing is working with boxing. I want to box, but there's no fight. So what do I do? Let me just go and try that stuff. My first competition is 2015 beach body. I remember, man, these guys, they look good, they're intimidating.
Yeah.
We were about 36 on stage. For me, I was going there to have fun. Like, I didn't think like nothing. And then they would say, back up, and they would call the win the first six. My number was 177, I remember. It was there on my beach body trunk. And I'm just like waiting, please finish fast. I need to go home, eat, low carbohydrate stuff is killing me.
Yeah.
And they called my number 177. Bro, I heard it, I pretended I didn't hear it. And I stood there like, this is a joke.
Yeah.
And the ladies like, you 177, you won first place. Bro, I was like, what? It's crazy, right? And then when they would say turn left, I was turning right. I didn't know what I was doing. I was literally having my fun. And I won my first gold medal.
Yeah.
Even today, I still, you know, for me, it was a big miracle. Then back in stage, I asked, like, what are the criteria for you guys? Because I don't see myself worth winning a gold medal in front of all these guys. How? They say no. They have to look at the symmetry, the appeal, how you look on the camera, the beauty. We look all of this. Don't just see like they have abs, they look shredded. No, they look at the whole package. And it's up to you, man. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Then I went into it. I did fashion physique, I won. I did swimwear model, I won. I did classic bodybuilding, I won. I did like the normal bodybuilding for like natural bodybuilding, I won. I haven't qualified for a world championship in amateur championship in Egypt. Like Sean Lewin was there.
Okay. Oh wow.
If you
Yeah.
scroll down to one of my posts, you will see a post. I post Michelle Lewin. She was the judge. Sergi Constance was there, and Tom Coleman was there. We
Jeez.
went to Egypt. They pay everything. We went to Egypt. But then they were freaks, man. This guy now, the size came up. They were big.
Yeah.
And then that was my last competition. But it was a beautiful journey. These 3 years out, for me was great. I did a lot of things, a lot of shooting. That was the story behind it, man.
Yeah. And so you said you did the natural competitions only?
Yeah, no, natural, bro, natural. Because doing during this stuff, I was doing it, but it wasn't something I really wanted to. I
Mm,
did it because people flatter me, I look good, and I didn't have boxing going on. So I was like, I better just do this. In the meantime, hopefully, I can start boxing again. So
yeah.
I did it, and I was always believing if I get anything in my body, I'm not true because I always like to be true to myself.
Right.
And God forbid they test me. They say there's a fight. They test me now. I fail. I'm gone. So I never, even a supplement, bro, nothing.
Right.
Literally. For me, I like to be real in the sense that I look at myself in the mirror and say, no, that's real. No, that's not fake. Yeah, that's it for me, bro.
Right. You worked for it. You got it. You earned it. So yeah, man. What do you think is, because I don't know how much you're cutting for these boxing matches, but what's harder for you, the cut for a fight or the cut for those competitions?
No, I used to be about, because I fight cruiserweight, 91
Right.
is the limit.
Okay.
I used to walk around 95, 96. I never felt really good. Like guys, they say, bro, you look jacked. It was flattering, but deep inside, I never feel good. So nowadays, I'm walking around 92, 93, sometimes even 89. So I don't have issue with the cut. I feel that I'm a natural cruiserweight. Like I don't fluctuate because I have observed most of the guys who cut weight once they retire, they blow off. They have this health issue and stuff. So I don't want to get my body system into it. I
Yeah.
just try to keep around. So when they announce a fight, I know I'm gonna get some water out, couple of kgs. That's it.
And so you have never like even have you ever had a fight below cruiserweight?
No, they have offered me a lot, but no. Instead,
Wow.
I have like two fight heavyweights.
Oh wow. So that's interesting. That's actually really I've never interviewed somebody that was that close to the weight. That's interesting. So other than like the retirement problems that you might face, is there any other reason that you just don't like to cut weight?
Yeah, bro, I'm all muscle. I
Mm.
promise you. You know,
So there's nothing to cut.
it's pretty much the same. But when he came here in Dubai, we had a sparring. He's a good guy. So Billy, his coach, come and tell me, no, when I say sparring, I don't want to put myself like I spar with my tempo Cody crazy. We were kind of sharpening each other. Because
Okay.
he lost to Michael Hunter. He went 1 year off, so he was building himself back. So it wasn't like because he would chop my head off. That guy is crazy strong. So Billy came and told me, "You look like a super middleweight. You know what it means. But I can train you because you box good. Man. I'm gonna make you lose weight." I said, "Billy, look at me. There's no ounce of fat here. It's
Right.
all muscle. What are you going to remove of me?" So just to answer your question to say no, no, man. And I had a fight in Vienna, Austria.
Mm.
That was in 2018 when I came back from all this fitness modeling stuff. It was supposed to be a 6 round fight. I cut to 86 kilogram. I won the fight, third round knockout, TKO, but that was the worst fight of my whole career.
So
Bro, I almost died.
so the 86 kg, is that 170?
In pound, I don't know what is that in pound.
Impact. That's what I was wondering because I think, yeah, I could be wrong, but I think 89 kg or 88 kg, I think that's like around 170. I could be wrong. That's a big cut. So what do you in kilograms? What are you in kilograms?
In kilogram, I walk around 89, 90, 91, 92.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
always, so it depends. If I drink a lot of water today, I wake up like I have a couple of kgs up. But if I don't drink water, because for example, it's lunch time now, we kind of fast.
Yeah.
So I've been walking around like 89, 90.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's just about a little bit of water. But like when I cut that weight, I almost die. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
you feel that even you can't breathe. You
Mm.
look shredded, all of this beautiful, but bro, it's messed up. So when Billy told me I'm gonna let you fight that weight, I said to him, Billy, I respect you, but I'm
No way.
not gonna suicide. I mean, if I had a tummy, yeah, you can cut the fat off, and but there's nothing, man. I'm all muscle, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And, and and that's another thing too, is like you see the guys like the Tyson Fury. I mean, he's a big example, but there's even other guys with like some bellies, and it's almost like you can look at them and dude, you could cut a little bit of fat and fight at a completely different weight class. You know what I mean? But some of those guys, they just don't like the cuts. Again, in your situation is a little different because you would be cutting specifically water weight only. But there's some guys they could drop a few pounds and it wouldn't hurt them. But yeah, man, I kind of look at a situation like yours where right now you basically are the undisputed with like all your minor titles. You have all your WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, all intercontinental belts, right?
Yeah, IBF. I won IBF Intercontinental. Then I won WBF World Championship.
Right.
All the others are regional. WBC, WBA is Asia,
Asia. Okay.
and WBO, that was Africa.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So you got one intercontinental, one world, and then two or three three continental.
yes, exactly.
Right.
Regional. They call that regional.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, man. So I mean, I'm looking at the rankings, right? There are some really, really interesting names that could shake up the rankings. You got Vidal Riley, and he's a top 15 guy, obviously. But even the like a Vidal Jack in the top 50, it makes me wonder, like, how long do you think it is until you get a crack at one of these top 25, top 20 guys? I mean, I know you just fought for a world title, which we can get into now or later, just depending on you. But I know that was what you had. You took it 2 weeks out, right? Short notice.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, what was that experience like? Let me ask that first.
It was a great experience for me. Like when you are a warrior, you never wait for the moment where you are ready to go. And every time you have to be ready. Everybody dreams of fighting for world title, right?
Right.
So I'm chilling. I didn't After my WBF fight, I didn't fight. That was 2024 November. So I had a lot of personal issue out of the ring. We go through stuff in life. My head was not there to fight at all. I have to be honest. And the fight came up October. That's almost a year, just 1 month to make it a year. The ring rust, all of this stuff. When you get in there, you don't feel yourself. And it's in the O2 arena. Like, this is my
Right.
biggest crowd, man. It was electric.
Right.
It's hard. The pressure is there. I fought in some big crowd, but not at that level. It was big and huge. It was hard, but I went toe to toe with the guy for 12 rounds. Then I knew to myself before going out, I could beat that guy. I knew it, but I said, I'm not going to say because it's 2 weeks' notice, I'm not going to fight it. I will go and fight him and prove them wrong. So I took the fight, and even today, I'm happy I took the fight. And I made them know that if I had a calm like he did, I would have beaten him. Because he didn't understand. He tried his best to take me out. It didn't work. And I'm like, I can see him right there. But, the rest, the body is not functioning properly. It was a struggle. And I'm very grateful for that, man. After the fight, I went to Frank Warren and I said, thank you, sir. She's all right. Del Boy came in the changing room. He told, bro, how can you let that guy beat you, man? We can see you could beat him. You're not doing anything. I said, Del Boy, I'm rested, man. The body's not working.
Right.
Yeah, that was it, bro.
Yeah. So, what was that camp like? You only had 2 weeks.
I didn't even train, bro. I do a couple of sparring to keep in shape, to keep myself in shape. With amateur, nothing really serious. But then I had a training cup 2, 3 sparring with Richard, right? He used to be a cruiserweight. He moved up to heavyweight now. And so he was hard preparing his fight. They call me in the camp. Of course, he's a heavyweight. You don't prepare a fight for a cruiserweight with a heavyweight. So it's different. We were training. That's when they offered me a fight. And then I said, all right, fine. I am my own coach. I believe that God has blessed me with the intuition to know what works for me and what I need to do most of the time. So all this fight you see me do, guys are in my corner, but I do my job.
Mm,
So I call you and say, I'm gonna give you this much. You come to my corner, but my own training, bro, I do myself.
mm.
So imagine that I had a proper camp where I was followed up. I would have been a nightmare. That would have been a big drama at the O2 Arena to Frank Warren, man.
Yeah, no doubt you'll get that title shot again sooner than later. And as far as, like I said, it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before you start getting cracks more at these top 25, top 15, even top 10 guys potentially. Right now, where you're at. So you took this fight on short notice. Since you didn't really have a camp, did you just get right back into training, or what did that look like as that time off?
Yeah, directly I got back in training. I'm just trying every day to stay in shape. You
Mm,
know, I've not never been that kind of person where you finish a fight and go on a holiday.
mm,
Yes, I like to travel, but even when I travel, I'm always training.
mm.
I may not spar, I may not do stuff, but I like to keep active. First of all, is for my health. You get
Right.
my point, bro. I don't train for competition. For me, it's a lifestyle. You will see me doing my stuff whether I have a fight or not. And now when they say there is a fight, all right, then I get specific. I try to like make a plan now. But apart from that, I'm always trying to keep myself sharp. I like to look in the mirror, hey, he's not fat. I like to be like that.
Yeah. And so speaking of which, as far as not even workouts, because nutrition is obviously right there with working out. What does your nutrition and diet look like when you're out of camp, like right now?
I've been inspired by monks. I'm very disciplined. I will tell you, I ate very basic stuff,
Mm,
really basic stuff. Bread and rice. A lot of people get full that I have this muscle, I must take supplement, I must be on protein shake. I don't take any of that. My drink is water. I drink plenty of water and I eat whole grain bread. There's everything in weight. I am a believer and I've studied all these spiritual books, whether it's the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, you will see that bread has always been the fundamental food.
mm,
So for me, this is my main stuff. It sums up, and then you realize that I'm a vegetarian by majority. Bread and rice, some and fruits. Whenever I go on meat, like they say, lion don't eat vegetable, they go on meat and stuff. Bro, I eat meat, I sleep really bad. I get
yeah.
up sluggish, heavy. It just doesn't work for me. My diet is basic. Eggs. I will have some eggs, bread, rice. That's where I get my carbs from. Then drink water. That's it. Very basic stuff.
Mm, yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So as far as your favorite protein source, you just really just eggs? Any cheese or anything like that?
No, no, plain. I like
Plain.
to drink. The Rocky movie. I crack and then drink eggs and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Do
like to
you
do that.
you put it in a smoothie ever or just straight?
No, no, straight. I crack. I open my mouth, and I swallow it.
Wow, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, man. So again, so as far as before I kind of get into that, your background a little bit, as far as like eyeing any return, now that we're at the end of February here, have you talked with your team about any potential return in the next couple months, or where are you at?
Yeah, my agent is currently working on getting me something. Of course, once for me at this stage, I don't really have anything to prove to myself. I know that I can take on anyone. I told to him to get me Opataya. He said I could have been eligible for Opataya if I was still in the ranking because when I won the cruiserweight IBF, I was in the top ranking. But then I lost a fight, it took my ranking off.
Hmm.
So right now, if I want to get to Opataya for voluntary title defense, I should be back in the ranking. That's what he told me. But he's looking for some big challenge. I just want to fight the people who are in front of me. That's really like what I like. That's why when I took that fight against Jurgen, I look at his ranking. He was about 18. I was 40 something. So I was like, no, he was 20. I don't know. I was like, yeah, these are the kind of people I want to fight. I like to test myself, know my limit. And when I went in there, the way I felt after the fight, I said I could have gone 15 rounds. I mean, I just want to cut it short to say my agent is working on some stuff, but for now, there's nothing confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. So just kind of taking it back a little bit, right? You're from Cameroon, correct?
exactly.
Yes. So you're from Cameroon. And how did you, we already kind of covered the fitness modeling piece. How did you get into boxing to start with? Because you had your debut now almost, we're coming up on 12 years here in a couple months. So you've had a long journey. What was your amateur career like? How did that go?
I had only 7 amateur fights. And guess what? I've been blessed. I call this a blessing. The one thing the Lord blessed me with is to throw me in the street, a scavenger of the garbage. That was my greatest blessing. You know, I walk around with, I wouldn't say walk around, but I've been around what do you call it, tuck, like really guys who are surviving, they're ready for everything to survive. Because my father died and I had to go to my uncle, it didn't really go well. And I was living double life. I was home, but I had to go out to really make a way. It wasn't, when you are not in your house, they don't treat you always the same like they could. They do their best. I'm thankful. But I felt that I needed to stand for myself, and do things the way I feel it was right. Eventually, my uncle died. That's nowhere to go. I had to go out, bro. So I know I would say what street life is. For me, I don't say life was hard for me. Life been great for me. I say I'm blessed, but I've learned so much from the street. It put my head to the state where I can say, Anthony, I'm unbreakable. You cannot break me. When I take a fight 2 weeks notice, I know I've not been training, fighting for a year. I can get killed in there. I go for it. I look at the guy in his eye and say, bro, I'm here. I represent something, you know? So that's the biggest blessing. I went to that being bullied in the street. I joined a boxing club. I needed to survive, stand for myself. Then I had my first amateur fight. I'm just 2 weeks training. I fought the guy who has been 2 years active amateur. They throw me in the ring with the guy. Like you want to go to toilet, nothing comes out. You lace the glove, you go to toilet, nothing comes out. Your legs are shaky, heavy. It's like you cannot walk the stairs to go up in the. It's some crazy stuff, bro. I'm like, I want to breathe. I'm scared. But I look at the guy and say, I'm going to fight you. But I'm scared to death. But something is telling me, bro, you have no choice. This is something you need. So I went in there. The girl fight stuff?
Yeah.
That's how I fought the guy. Bro,
No
I just went
technique.
after him. I chased the guy. He expected something like jab, move the head. That's what he was doing. No, I'm not coming there to box you. I fight.
Yeah.
I fought the guy like he was he quit after the second round. Like he
Really?
said, Coach, where did you get this guy from? This is not boxing, man. Bro, I said to myself, okay, you can call me whatever you call, but I came here not to box you, to fight you. And even today, I have this mentality. I don't call myself a boxer. Anthony, no, I'm a fighter. For me, I fight. Out of the ring, I fight to survive, bro. I fight. Injustice, I've been through injustice. I am an orphan. I know what these people go through because I've been there. I stand for them. And they are the one who inspire me to keep fighting.
Hmm.
So that's the stuff. And then I had a couple of fights till 7. I decided to leave my country. Then I went at the
And
same
when was
time
this? What
stop.
year was this?
This is like 2009, 2010.
Okay. And how old were you at this point?
I'm about 2021.
Okay. Okay.
I started boxing quite late.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2021, yes. Around this stuff.
And you leave your country and go to Dubai?
No. Basically, my decision to leave my country. At the same time, I'm struggling like this. I'm doing some great effort to save and go to school. So I was going to school. I went to school up till I graduated my bachelor degree in university in business law. I always dreamed to be a businessman.
Mm.
And I did law because I wanted to know what are my rights, you know. So it was mixed too. So I did business law and I wanted to go to Poland to study because we have these things back home. It's like if you graduate from the Western, the same diploma someone has home, you get paid or treated better than him simply because your diploma is coming from, the other side.
And you
And
mean
it's
when you say Western, just for the viewers, you mean Western Africa?
no, the Western world, like
Oh,
America,
the Western
France,
world.
UK.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah. So they treat you pretty right. That's say now I'm home in Africa. Anyway, I'm talking about Cameroon. I don't know about other country.
Mm.
You are from the US. You came up, we are the same level. Sometimes you don't even know the stuff that I know. I have to teach you some stuff. But your diploma say you graduated in say Harvard or I don't know all these big names and stuff. You just drop it there, they're gonna take you for sure.
Of course.
They first pick you. So that was the thing. I said I'm going to Poland to study and come back home and live my life. But I got scammed. They stole my passport and all my money vanished.
Oh my God.
I say, Lord, Lord, Lord. So what do I do now? Dubai is another option. In Dubai, I can still from Dubai I can go do my studies. So I came in Dubai and then I met some guys who's been here from Cameroon involved into boxing. We started training in the gym. He recognized me as a boxer of his own club, boxing club back
Mm.
home.
Nice, nice.
So we kind of got along together. And from him, we started training in the way. I started sleeping in the gym, all of those things. And I started, like, I could pay my debts home because coming to Dubai, I had to borrow a lot of money, sign a lot of agreement, like, stuff. There were prison involved. I didn't pay all of this. So in Dubai, I said to myself, man, I've seen a lot of people with diploma back home jobless. I'm just chasing to go and finish my study. How about I kind of clear all my debt and you're gonna see that you can study anytime in your life. So I gave up the study side. I started working hard to pay my debt back home. And eventually I realized that I mean a bachelor degree for you, Rolly, is not so bad, man. If now you really start working and helping others, what is the wrong thing there, man? Nothing bad there. So I gave up the study completely. I said I just want to work, help my family, help the people that needs me. That's when I got my first professional fight here. I would say after seven amateur fight back home.
Yeah. And so you come to Dubai, and how long were you in Dubai training with your friend at this gym before you book your first pro fight?
About a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
you're just
came
sleeping in
to
the gym and that kind of that whole.
I was sleeping in the gym. That's the same gym I'm telling you when I'm training. People come and tell me, bro, you have a good physique and stuff. Yeah.
And that's your
That
gym now
time,
too? Same gym?
no, it's not the same thing. They
Okay.
closed. That time, Gokhan Saki, the Turkish Tyson kickboxer, glory.
Yeah.
Saki was then world kickboxing champion. And he just liked me. One day in the changing room, he said, you will be world champion one day. I'm looking at this guy. I was just looking at him for me, like to see the world champion live in the face. It was crazy. It was inspiring. But I grew up with the sense that you never show your vulnerability. You never depend on people. The least that I had was good for me enough.
Mm.
And I think Gunkan was respecting that. He knew what I was going through. But for me, it's never complain. That's my philosophy. I'll die in front of you with my stuff. Because I believe in Christ again. That's outstanding man for me. The guy carried his cross. He never get angry. He just went there. So this inspire me. I say, whatever you go through in life, you have to go through, my friend. Just go through it. The world is made of billions. Who are you to think you are something special that they're gonna care about you? This is how I talk to myself.
Hmm.
So Gokhan Saki is the guy who predicted me to be one of the top boxers. Yeah.
Yeah. So you took a lot from these guys. And was there anything in specific that you took from him, whether technique wise, mindset wise, or philosophy wise?
It was more mental. When I first met Gokhan, he's world champion. And then I went to him, I said, I want to spar with you. I haven't even had a professional fight yet. No. I said, I want to spar you. He looked at me in the eyes. You know, that looked like I will kill this boy. Why does he want this? You know, but I'm looking at him, I'm dead serious. I want to spy you. And I was serious. Again, I feel my heart is pumping and I feel the doubt like, bro, you can get killed. But I already know this that if you face a lion, it kills your fear. This is something I learned in the street. Like when we will fight in the street, you just go for the toughest dude. You go for the gangster, the head of the gang. Everyone else will run away from you. Even if you lost, they're gonna say that guy has balls. To face the boss, he has balls. So I know that by having a sparring with the world champion, it will increase a lot in me. But Gokan never allowed it. He knew that because he saw me training, I had a lot of issues.
Hmm.
He would whoop me off in just 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah. Exploit the
Then,
openings.
yeah, even today when I look at it, I say, how stupid was that, man? But I said, no, I did it at least.
Right.
And because of that, Gokan came to me and said, keep that mindset. This is what I learned from him. Keep that mindset. You will be a world champion. He didn't say world champion, you will be a champion. So every time when I used to wear a belt, I always remember like Gokan told me I would be champion. Yeah, I'm a champion. That's what I learned from him. We became sparring partner only after COVID. But I'm telling this story that was far in 2014, 2015, when he was at the top of the glory kickboxing. So that's the stuff I learned from him. Yeah, and the other thing, being humble and really low key. That's what I saw in Gokan. We never really got like punching together. No, he tried his best to protect me from him killing me.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why I'm so thankful to him for that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's a super cool story. And as far as, like you said, taking that chance, it's better to take the chance and not get the desired outcome than to never take the chance at all. And of course, you seems you've learned this at a very young age, having to kind of raise yourself to an extent. And you took that chance. And again, with the IBF belt, even though it wasn't the desired outcome, I'm sure it gave you that confidence for your next fight and your next title fight to kind of gauge what level you're at. And jumping back to that part, in that title fight, it might be a little harder to gauge since you didn't have a full fight camp, but was there anything in the ring that he did that surprised you? Did he punch harder than most opponents? Was he quicker? Was there anything like that?
In the 2 weeks notice, I watched him. I knew that he's a puncher
Hmm.
and he's a bully. For me, I said to myself, I'm also strong. This is something that I know from long ago. I'm very strong. I will struggle more with someone who really knows boxing, that like the skill, than versus someone who is coming there to make a statement. I know Jurgen is a young. I'm in my going in my late 30s. He's in his prime. So and he is coming there to bully you, put pressure on you, bro. You don't do that with Rolly. This is a mistake. Anyone who tried to bully me, I will stand my ground. I will finish that fight. But if to beat me, even when I was a kid, we back home, we're not like in the West, where if you touch your kid, the police is gonna come and take your child away. Bro, you make a mistake, your father has the right to whoop your backside.
Hmm.
So we are grown up tough. And I became so tough that my father knew that whooping me is not a solution anymore. He became inside me. He would do like, give me some like punishment. You're gonna clean the ground for a month, bro. This is psychological torture. Stuff like you telling me you're not gonna have food. I'm not. I'm gonna punch you. I'm not gonna give you money for stuff. Don't give. I don't give a heck. That's me. For like you come to me man to man, I will stand. We're gonna go. So going to that I knew that he will not do anything. Bro, I have two hands. These hands are so strong. You're gonna hit all night long. My head is protected. Okay, if I'm like this, okay, you're gonna chop my head. But the moment I have this, I look at you now. I'm coming. I'm coming. Yeah, I didn't worry at all.
So it matched up good stylistically, is kind of what you're saying.
It was actually a lucky thing for me.
Yeah.
He has everything. Jurgen, he has everything that the boxer needs, but he is coming forward. Me also, I'm a guy who comes forward.
Yeah.
So I felt comfortable. If he was maybe say Cuban, like Cuban, they box and just
Oh
slick
yeah, right, right,
dancing,
right.
then he will have troubled me because it's hard to catch these people.
Yeah.
However, when you come in with too power to chop my head off, no, for me, I feel more comfortable fighting this kind of people. I don't know. I like to stand my ground anyway.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I saw in Jurgen. He was coming to make a statement. I proved him wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned too that you're 36 years old, I believe, correct?
Yeah, I'm 36. I'm going to be 37 in May.
Okay. So you're kind of getting towards this later stage. Guys have boxed, of course, and been champions in their 40s, though. Um, kind of getting this later. I know you just got a title shot, but would you ever consider like the Zuffa boxing at all?
I consider everything that can really make me happy. At this stage of my life, I'm talking business. You know, I've, I am a championship fighter. I'm not in a state of build up anymore. So yes, if Zulfa contact me, great. And I've sparred with a lot. I've sparred with Badu Jag. Yeah, I've sparred with a lot of names.
Would you
Most
like
of these
that
guys,
fight?
most of these guys, they know me. No, I like Badu.
Yeah.
Outside of the ring, this guy has a heart.
Hmm.
I see him feed the orphan. And I see that he is feeding me. Because I was in that state where I hunger nights and day couldn't sleep. I was hungry. So if you give me a fight with Badu, I would prefer an exhibition.
Hmm.
But at his age and me now, and I consider the sparring we had together, I don't want to brag about it, but I wouldn't think it's a good idea. And I wish it never happened. Let him just retire. He's a nice guy. I promise you, when I saw him, he felt, man, it touches my heart,
Hmm.
because I've been there.
Right.
And I always believe if we athletes, prize fighter, could have this effort instead of flashing this car like guys do, bro. Do you remember someone somewhere with your bread, just a dime, $1? That would be great. That's one thing I lift my heart to Badu about that. But I wouldn't like to step in the ring with this kind of people. No. Badu is out. He's 40s and 40 something. You know, bro. The way I train with people of in their 30s, 20s, I look fitter than them. And I do believe I still have at least 7 years in my tank,
Hmm.
proper, solid. Because I'm so disciplined.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, I'm disciplined. I will take this Jurgen example, this title fight. I did a year without fighting. 2 weeks notice, I went whole round. I finished the fight. Few people have the capacity to do this. And I didn't have a camp. Suppose I had a camp, I would have heard that kid. So I will humbly, without mentioning whatever sparring I have with Badu Jack, no, I don't wish to fight this kind of people at all. That's it.
What about like a guy, like I said, like a top 15 Vidal Riley? Like, would you like that? Would you entertain that fight?
I don't think Vidal will ever accept fighting me. They probably, if they was to offer me that fight, is when I'm getting really close to the 40s, when they, like they take you like a gatekeeper stuff to
Yeah.
test the guy. But now I don't think the team of Vidal will approach me, especially after what they saw from Jurgen.
Right, right, right.
Jurgen is better than Vidal, and you see, like I fought the guy Vidal fought here in Dubai. Austin. Austin is a good friend of mine from Nigeria. We are friends. We are sparring partner. I fought him, and I won the fight. And he fought Vidal. Vidal Vidal is a job, staying away, nice, looking cute guy. You cannot do that to me. When the moment I do this, I'm gonna corner you somewhere. I will take it, but I'm sure that they will not. No, I, I mean, if they do, thank God, but they will not. I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I think a situation like Zuffa boxing, and by the way, for the viewers and everybody listening that maybe don't know what the Zuffa boxing is, it's just Dana White's promotion essentially in partnership with Zuffa. And a lot of guys um, are at least have their eyes on Zuffa kind of because of a situation that you're talking about right now is, of course, in the UFC, there is so many fighters, you can only fight so many times. There's only so many guys that can fight. It's not always the absolute best matchups, but the difference is you're getting really, really good quality matchups every time that people want to see for the most part. So kind of a situation you're explaining right now is you've beaten a guy that beat Vidal, and of course, you're saying that their teams
Oh, wait,
wouldn't.
wait, wait. I want to correct something. I didn't beat the guy who beat him. I beat the guy that he won. Vidal beat him on point, but I stopped that guy.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, good correction, but still, nonetheless, the point stands is, you stopped a guy that Vidal could not stop and only beat on points, and you kind of talked about your styles, the differences in your styles. You have a lot of minor belts, and he is a top 15 guy with a lot of backing right now. And basically, the point I'm getting at is boxing is much harder to make certain fights because of politics. And so you end up with guys sometimes in the top 20 that maybe aren't, you know, don't deserve to be in the top 20. So guys are kind of flocking to Zuffa or at least eyeing Zuffa so you can get more fair fights. It's more entertainer friendly, it's more fan friendly. So that's kind of why I asked this if you'd ever be open to a situation like that because there might not be as much money involved at first, but there's more structure. You don't have to wait on fights, maybe. So I didn't know if that was something that was ever important to you, or you ever felt the sting of the boxing politics.
Bro, boxing is business. And when you talk business, you talk politics. Or if you talk politics, you talk business. It's not the guy who is in the top 20, top 15 that deserves to be there. You just said it, and I agree with you 100%. 100%. The first, I prefer not to name them, but I've sparred with a lot of them. And you just wonder to yourself, like, how? And the more I get into it with my experience, having this fight, getting around these people, I do understand that boxing is not how good you are. It's not about how good you are. It's about what contact you have. That's it. That's it. One phone call, pop up, that's it. These promoters, they like they own the president of the organization. What does the organization do? They live on the sanction fees. So
Right.
if you can really make the guy smile, yeah, he's gonna vacate the belt and put your boy in there. That's like I've seen things. When I had my exhibition with Tommy Fury, I'm not gonna hide this one. Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, they were in the top 50 ranking.
Yeah,
Can you
right,
believe this?
right, right, right.
Jake Paul, I'm like, are you serious? Now, I went to Saudi when Jake Paul was fighting Tommy. I was ringside. I saw Suleiman, Mauricio Suleiman. Of course, a nice guy that I like too. We recognize each other because that time I was WBC Asia title holder. So
Right.
he knows me from the photo and the report.
And for
Hey,
people, again, for people, this is the WBC, basically the top guy at the WBC. So continue.
exactly. That's the president of WBC.
Right, right,
We met and said, "Man, I don't understand how is Tommy Fury and Jake Paul in the top 50 ranking now. Me, I'm nowhere. I have a belt. I have your belt.
right.
Like, I have paid for sanction field. They said, okay, don't worry, don't worry. Blah, blah, blah. The next day or the next week, I went and checked the top 50 ranking. I was somewhere. You get my point?
Right, right, right.
I mean, Mauricio, if you are watching this, I like you, I respect you. I respect everyone, but sometimes we need to talk the truth.
Mhm.
How in the world do you put a YouTuber and forsake a proper boxer? Why? Because the YouTuber brings money. That's what we were talking about. It's politics. If you can make the bling, the stuff, the guy's happy, bro. They forget your skill, forget your sacrifice. At the end of the day, he wants to feed his family, so we understand that. I look at it with a detachment and a realistic view. He's working, he has his stuff, he has family, he has bills to pay, but we represent you. I felt offended that I have your belt. To fight for that belt, I paid sanction fee. I had to look for sponsors, everything. So then you don't even put me in the ranking. I should be there. But you go and put a YouTuber, okay, he's bringing a number, the business, but you are really insulting me.
Mhm.
And this is what is happening in boxing. I can take example over and over and over and over. It's just like this, bro. It's not who, it's not how good you are. No. If you know well, they put you there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting even more so that we're talking about this because of course he just had his fight back in December. He got his second surgery. I saw he had to get another surgery. Got messed up pretty bad. But he is in the same weight class as you because you guys both fight cruiserweight. I remember when I saw that he got ranked, I didn't think it was real at first. And so I checked myself and I saw WBC had him ranked at 15. And I get the whole situation, but that seemed like a bit excessive to me. And you talked about sparring Tommy, right? Just tell me what that was like, basically, because again, I think Tommy's good, but there's levels to this stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I was happy. I remember that it was 20 hours or something. I noticed he was supposed to fight pull something here in Dubai, and things didn't go out, so they needed someone to replace. I got in. I did a crazy conditioning the day before. My body's heavy. I have a friend of mine. He's a coach in Manchester, Alex, and he's like, "Champ, you want to have a fight tomorrow?" I said, "Come on, you just spoke to me a few hours. You didn't say fight. Now you're talking about." I'm serious. Like, so we met. We did the agreement and everything. Stuff. It was 2 minute rounds, times six.
Okay.
Looking from my corner, I can still see Tommy, and he had a proper camp for that, and it's an exhibition. You're not hurting each other. He gave me the feeling that, I mean, from a distance, I believe he has a long way to go. If you want to talk about really contending, I'm not taking any credit from Tommy. He's doing his best because I'm in good terms with them. But again, I like to just, I don't like filtering things. I believe he should protect himself from serious contender. A lot of people texted me, bro, this is your chance. You need to knock him out and make a name. Like if you beat, but this is not me. If I say Anthony, we're doing this, that I will respect my word. I don't like abusing. I like to look at myself in the mirror and not have to be ashamed or to blink. My consciousness. So I did what I was I agreed to do an exhibition. Exhibition is not there. Some exhibition is like statement making, but that specific exhibition, no, it was a fun thing and a great experience to be co-main event with Mayweather. That was obviously something good. But in terms of boxing, no, the friend that I can call, we are friends on Instagram. Tommy has a long way to go. He still have a lot of things to. He has the skill, everything, but the experience to really go for the top. No, no, no. I will not personally give him that advice from what I saw and felt in the ring with him. Now it's been a couple of years, of course. I don't know where he is at the moment. You never really know. People change. People change. So he could be ready. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just talking from that period of time. Yeah.
Yeah, and furthermore, he beat Jake Paul. So Jake Paul, again, being 15 in WBC is just crazy. But yeah, man, so kind of wrapping it up a little bit here, I did want to ask just a fun question. You have the boxing piece down, and boxing is looked at as up there with the best in all of martial arts. You got wrestling, BJJ, you got boxing. This is talked about consistently as basically one of the most effective martial arts. Would you ever consider an MMA fight?
I was offered MMA fight Well, the gym I told you I was sleeping in with Gokan Saki, being the friend of the owner. The owner told me, bro, boxing is like a lot of politics. I have connection in MMA because he himself, I'm talking about Tam Khan. He's a friend of mine. You know him well. He's a good influencer here. I know him like personal. We have contacts. I wouldn't say friend. I don't want to be like taking my head. No, no. But I'm saying that he told me to do MMA because he has connection in MMA. That time he was friend. I don't know if he is still friend with one championship CEO or something like that. There was a key person who used to come in the gym and he told me he's part. So he suggested, but when I look at the training of BJJ, it kind of cringe me. The position and stuff. I just think it's indecent. Like I don't feel comfortable hugging a man. It's true. I can defend myself with that. It's useful if someone takes me down. But look like for me, bro. I don't want to offend the LGBT community and stuff, but I don't just feel comfortable about it. I could fight in MMA stand up, but I would struggle with the wrestling part.
Yeah. And of course, BJJ is a very, very prominent part of MMA. You definitely need
Right.
it to be in MMA. So,
But then, if you tell me like going to MMA, if Dana White say, "Hey, this guy want to fight you in MMA," I have a foundation in kickboxing because later on, observing Gokhan Saki and stuff, and trying myself in few sparring, I did some kickboxing, but I just feel comfortable as a boxer. However, they say monitor. Or if you say, bros, this guy want to fight you, James Toney went to UFC.
right, right,
I
right.
wouldn't say no. I will go. Yes, I will go.
Yeah.
And I think footwork, footwork. It's 3 rounds of 5 minutes. Trust me, I can survive.
Right,
Unless
right,
you are
right.
really, really, really like smart to get me down, but I'll just try my best not to fall on the floor. But I will survive. We go 12 rounds, and you guys go 9 minutes or what, 15 minutes.
Yeah, right.
So it's fundamentally that it doesn't match. Of course, the technique, the environment, the atmosphere, everything, the style is different. But I do believe with my instinctive capacity, I can do MMA
Yeah, yeah.
because I have sparred some MMA guys.
Mhm.
If you have a good corner, I observe want a lot of fight standing up because MMA guy they do some stuff. So if you can really pick him apart, and you have chances.
So you're a cruiserweight, so you would fight at middleweight, 185 pounds. But yeah, man, we see guys like Yoel Romero. I'm not sure if you know him. He is in the UFC and he's still fighting at one championship, and he's like 45 years old. So, you said you got 7 years left in the tank, man. I would love to see that.
I'm talking about 7 year fresh. So if you talk about like retirement years, that could be like 3. Then it means from now on, I'm seeing myself in 45 years still in shape. I tell you, Anthony, they say the prime is up to 36 or 35. This is the general conception of things. I disagree with that. If that was the case, Jurgen would have whooped me. He would have humiliated me in
Mhm.
that fight, for example. But I do believe is a way you manage yourself, your mental. Do you believe, do you still have the drive? A lot of people get tired from repeating the training camp, the sparring, getting hit. This drains you. I don't want this anymore. You got a payday, bro. I better retire. And even if he's still there, he's not really that much. But when you say, my example, this is not enough, I can still go. And you treat your body right. Alcohol, like junk food, spare yourself. That's why I want to say big up to Bernard Hopkins, man. Bernard Hopkins inspired me a lot.
Oh,
Clean
really?
athlete. He fought till 50.
Yeah.
I've watched him a lot. Out of the ring, the documentary, he says like, "Ooh, it's about how you treat your body." It's true. I tested it on me. It works. You will fight, go on and fight. It's the discipline. We have weakness. You see, a guy like me, yeah, my friend, they don't hide it. Say, bro, if I had a body like you, I will F all the girls around. Now, you do all of this, you wasting yourself. I wouldn't say I'm a perfect person. You know, I have my desire, all this coming through, but you need to be the master of yourself. I know what I want. I want to set a standard for the people who have been in my situation. I wasn't born in the golden spoon, but the Lord blessed me to go in that environment being a scavenger of the garbage so that tomorrow I could look at them and say, bro, I was there. They're going to ask me, how did you get to that level? I say, I was like this, very simple. So I watch out what I put in my body, what I put in my head, what feed my thing. Even in my Instagram, I don't scroll to read just because I know. I'm very careful, very picky. Even the thing that comes out of my mouth, many times I sleep as a human being. I will say things, but ultimately my personal experience show me that it's the self, how you deal with yourself that can keep you either going longer or you just finish right soon.
Yeah. And so you mentioned something actually very interesting there. And I know this is like an old boxing adage about don't be with women with during your training camp because all that stuff it can make your legs go out. And I know some people take it a little farther with like the semen retention and it gives them this energy they talk about where they purposely don't sleep with women or whatever. And it gives them that different energy coming into a fight. Is that something you buy into?
Bro, semen retention. I'm a big advocate of semen retention.
Okay, okay. And this is something a lot of people try to shy away from. So this is an interesting topic.
Bro, semen retention. If you are watching me, if you are a guy, bro, stop pouring that precious stuff. It's gold. You are pouring in between the legs of that girl. You're wasting yourself. I don't know how I can explain it to you. Okay, if it is your wife, then it's different. But she has to be understanding to know that at some point she has to support you not to pour it. You get me? Semen retention, bro. You look at the guy in the eyes. You say what you want to say. You don't flinch. I promise, if I was not semen retention, I would have retired already. I
Really?
know. Yeah, I would have retired. It's not a semen. It's like magic. That can you ask yourself the question? Why is it through that liquid that we are made fetus and babies? How? What is in there? And then you just people go. I would confess when I was younger, I wank. You know,
Mm.
I
Yeah.
used to wank. But the moment I realized, every time I just like I'm feeling bizarre when I do that stuff. I feel diminished. But when I go 1, 2, 3 months, bro, I'm like an alpha male. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm alert, bro. I
Yeah.
feel stronger. Some people will say placebo effect. No, 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 no. Forget about the people who know the secret wouldn't say semen retention is something great, even for female. Yeah, it's not only for male. That orgasm kills you, man. Hey, we all know what you feel after orgasm. You just want to, you drop dead. You want to sleep. You want to relax. Imagine someone who does this every day. Where you get the energy to go for 12 rounds? Where would you get the energy to get out and train? God, it drains. Oh man, I'm happy you brought that semen retention up. And I
Mm.
hope someone is watching me somewhere there. Yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just go for sport. Take it to your business. Bro, you take decision. You ask for the raise of your salary. You look at the CEO. Fearless.
Mm.
I'm telling you, this is true. They don't say some people take it only for sport. No, it's not only for sport. It's in life. Now, when you know the trick, you need to bring either your girlfriend or your partner to understand that, look, I love you, sweetheart, but now I'm about to take some important decision, maybe for business and stuff, or for my sport, or whatever in life.
Mhm.
We need to abstain from that stuff. Yeah, it helps. I don't know how I can explain this, Anthony, but semen retention is powerful. I will advise anyone who is watching this, whether you are a female or male, I would say I'm not blinking. I'm looking in the camera and say, I wank back in the days because I was ignorant. But how do you deal with that? It's powerful. The God does the same thing to the man, put him to the top. You've heard they say, behind every successful man is a strong woman.
Right.
In many ways, they don't say it, but sex is a big part of it. And I believe, I'm very thankful for this story. I can even say every orgasm takes a bit of your life. If you want to die at 80, the more orgasm you do, you're going to find yourself dying at 60. No one will prove me wrong with this. The people who know the secret will see, like, how did this guy get this? But this is true. And if anyone wants to know if it's true or not, go and try it by yourself and you will see. I wouldn't say a lot, just 1 month. And now go for a month. It's gonna be hard. Just go for a month, not doing that. I'm just saying try it and see the difference. So that's semen retention, bro. That is, you brought it up, I don't know from where, but yes, I answer you. I am a big advocate of it. And when I talk, I always talk mentioning the Lord, the Lord. I'm not a religious person. Don't get me wrong. I have on my table, I have the Quran, I have the Torah, I have the Bible, I have the Vedas, and I travel a lot. You know, these books, especially the Bible and the Torah, are books that are being, it can either destroy you or make you. It can either put you to sleep. Like they use it for mind control. I went to Rome. The luxury you see in Rome is insane. And everybody you see, I mean, in every way, you ask Google, the Vatican is the richest state in the world. Yet in the Bible, Christ is telling you not to be rich. Give your possession to the poor. But when you are a spiritual person, you open door. Everywhere you see the truth. A priest wouldn't encourage you to read the Quran. An imam wouldn't encourage you to read the Bible. The Jew will say we are the chosen people. Don't deal with the other stuff. I kind of figure out and say, why? Then I went and tuned up myself into everything. Pick. It's the same thing. Especially just to come back to that semen retention stuff. It's there in those books, bro. It's there. Read it properly. Semen retention is repeated in the Quran, in the Bible. But why don't they just say it the way it should be said? That's where I really don't know. I don't know. I promise you, I don't know, but it's a sad truth. Semen retention should be taught in Sunday sermon by the pastor, by the priest. Anthony, I'm very thankful, man. I think I would myself watch this again to get strengthened from this. You know, semen retention, if you are watching me now, it's real. Save that energy. That liquid is life force. That's from that thing you were created. And from that thing, you can be destroyed. You can remake your life from that thing. If you can just know how to handle yourself and that thing. And for us athletes, yes, every person that I have seen, observed, perform really well, somewhere he has been on semen retention.
Really?
Yes, if he hasn't been on drugs, if he's really natural, he has done semen retention. Unfortunately, we are not always quick to expose the secret to the people. You have been champion, you want to keep it the secret for you. You may share it to your children or to your close friend. But to come out and say this like this, very few want to do it. Pornography is having more view than everything. It's like everyone is watching it. That's what they have to advertise so they can control the people and put them to sleep. Go after women. That's what you need, right? We give it to you. But the real stuff is, bro, the moment you hold back, you look at a woman like a creature, the beauty of nature, not as an object to be used. When you get to this level, Anthony, you are different. Your confidence spike. This is the stuff that kills us today. Dreams are buried between the legs of female man. Oh, it's sad. I have achieved my dream. I've always wanted to be a champion. Let's forget money and stuff. That's no big deal and stuff. It's the feeling of a dream fulfilled. Are you watching me? How did I fulfill my dream? Is by doing the stuff that I'm telling you right now. Watch the video again. That's it. Be real. Be real. Purify your thinking. Set your standard. You go to the top. You achieve your dream, bro. Sisters, same thing for you. Orgasm either kills you or make you. That's what I would say. And Anthony, man, I thank you so much for mentioning this semen retention stuff. I promise you, it's powerful. Semen retention, you do it. You speak even to the universe listen to you. And the way, like I said before, your mind.
So do you do, not to interrupt you, but do you do like manifestation and stuff as well?
I've heard about manifestation, but it's not something I really go into it. But I, in my experience, use the mind a lot. Okay? The mind can attract.
Right. That's the same thing. That's the same thing.
Exactly, that's what it, but
And you
I
believe that
see
semen retention can almost like increase your ability to attract?
semen retention does.
Right.
Why? It's life force. Your
Right.
semen is life force. Think about your dream. See your dream. You have your life force in you. Now tell me why they say, some people say the universe, but we say it's the name of the creator who they say is God. Tell me why he wouldn't listen to you. Give me a reason for you not to achieve your dream. You see your dream. When I see Anthony, I wish the best for Anthony. I have a goal. I'm going in there. Anthony, tell me why I wouldn't become a champion. Tell me why I should fail in my life. Give me a reason. Tell me why when I knock, they wouldn't open the door to me. The energy is felt. Your aura is it, you feel when someone is true, you feel it. Someone is fake, you can feel it. But when you have your life force, you purify your mind, bro. You will not die on this planet without achieving your dream. This is my personal belief based on my personal experience. I've been in situations sleeping in the street where I thought I was cursed. I mean,
And it's a
I've been
mindset
shaped.
switch.
The mindset, and you just see. I would say semen retention, purifying your mind. Or the greatest man of this planet, the Christ. That's what I learned. So I clear my mind. I clear my heart. I have my shortcoming in life. I'm a human being. The kid who is watching me now need to relate and say, man, that guy something. I slept in the street. I slept in the gym. Am I shameful of that? No. But I'm Rolly today. Yeah. And I'm proud of myself. These are blessings. And now I walk my path. I don't compare myself with anybody. Just walk, living my little life. But there is no celebrity who impresses me. You can have your name, you're rich and famous, you don't impress me.
Mm.
Regardless of how low I have been, I can eat what you eat, I can go where you go. I'm just a guy from down there, the mud. Now I'm coming back to you and say, love that time for the goodness of other people. Think really treat everybody the way you wish to be treated. There's no way you will fail. Like opportunity comes out of nowhere,
Mm.
out of the blue. Why did they call me for this jargon fight? I don't have a promoter. I'm a free agent. Yeah, I have been offered a lot of contract where I read. I say I don't need this. So I don't live being desperate. I will believe what is mine is mine. What is not mine is not mine. It's no point for me hanging out with you. They see me with your Rolls Royce when I know I don't belong there simply because I want to feel the taste of that, or I want my friend to see a photo of me with that. I don't want that. I walk my path. You know, this is a teaching I'm telling you who's watching this. Take this mindset in your business. If you fail, something is wrong. Take this in your whatever in life. This kind of mindset, you cannot dive on this planet without achieving the dream you always wanted to achieve. And me today being a champion. Champion, do you know I always dream of fighting in the O2 Arena.
Yeah. You
I'm
visualize
telling
that?
you, huh?
Did you visualize that?
I would say I visualized, but it was, like a dream. You went like, how? I have a phone call and they say you're going to fight in the O2 Arena. Bro, this is crazy. It's just crazy. And once upon in my life, they were talking about, I was not even a professional fighter. They talk about Mayweather so much.
Yeah.
Then later on, I found out doing Mayweather and Mike Tyson.
Right.
I'd be happy to meet this guy once. I met Mike Tyson in Saudi. I met Mayweather fighting Tommy Fury here.
Yeah, you fought on his undercard essentially,
But
right?
he's on
Right,
the card.
co-main.
And, he has a crazy security. The guys are like begging for autograph. I stood there. I was like, this is Mayweather? He's a little guy. And he looked at me like this. He said, come. The security was like, no. He said, no, leave him. He said, give me your phone. He gave the phone and he said, take a photo of me, of us together. And I said to myself, man, this is the dream. The dream actually come to me. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to meet him. Now he's telling me, let's take a photo.
Take a picture.
No, I mean, Anthony, bless your heart for asking that question, man. I could say this all night long, but I don't want to take all your time for this. This is the teaching that we need to hear. No, that's the real stuff. And you take it into boxing, take it into football, take it into karate, take it in your business, take it in there. Man, you stand your ground. You walk your chest up, shoulders popped up, bro. I'm telling you, don't blink. You look at anyone, you look at the bully like, bro, you are a man like me. Semen retention is everything that you need. No, it's pretty fair. I've said enough that need to be heard. We have everything in our hands, but we just have been manipulated. That's
So
all I can say. I do it a lot. I do it. I encourage it.
yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, you talked about just using it as like a longevity lever almost, like it's going to keep you going until your later years. But yeah, this is a super important conversation. I love the way we got to end this. We talked about all the major points and then we got to this at the end. That was a really powerful conversation, really great message, and from a very well-informed individual, by the way. You're not just somebody that saw it once and talked about it. You seem to have taken it into your own life, studied it, understood it. That's super powerful, man. Very good message to be pushing to the younger generation. People have ruined their lives over it. So that's a very serious topic. But yeah, I think we're going to have to end it up here, right around here. Man, we talked about from your beginning, from the humblest of humble beginnings, essentially having nothing but the will inside of you. And now you're here. You just had a world title fight, and you have all your minor belts right now. So anything you want to leave us off with?
I would say be simple, man. Do your semen retention. Nothing else. For me, with the purification of the heart, it's impossible for you to fail. You don't have to be a boxer or footballer. Go do your business. Go do your farming and stuff. Do that stuff. If you fail, I believe something was wrong. You didn't do it right. And like this, I've given a lot of interview, Anthony, but this is my best one. I've never had the opportunity to talk about this. I promise you. They ask a lot of things, but they don't ask me that question mostly.
Hmm.
Now, this is the stuff. I'm so happy. You know why? Because somebody who is in a situation that I was yesterday, he would say, oh, really? I'm going to try that. I will try that. Look at where you are. If I wasn't a champion and advocating this, they would say, oh, shut up. You
Right,
haven't
right,
been
right.
there. But I have been there. I don't have a promoter. I don't have a manager. No one does it for me. The universe is my phone call, is my backup. I get where I go. Doors open, opportunity flock to me. I don't do magic, sir. It's what I said in this interview. Stop begging for crumbs. Stop kissing people's ass. That's what I will say. That's it.
Dude, that's amazing message, a great message. And like you said too, the fact that you've been given this platform, you've earned it, but you've been blessed by God to have this platform and you're using it in the correct way. I love that, man. So yeah, man, great message to leave off with. Rolly Lambert, thank you so much, my man. I'm gonna be watching for this next upcoming fight. I think everybody else will too. Great interview, my man. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, thank you, Anthony. God bless you, bro.
God
Have a
bless you,
great
man.
watch.
Thanks, man.